In part 1, we discussed the graduate, route and family migration updates introduced under HC 259, but that wasn't everything. The Home Office has also made important changes to the asylum process, ETA applications, immigration bail, criminality rules, the EU settlement scheme, and several other immigration routes. Some of these changes won't affect everyone, but if you're planning to visit, study, work, or settle in the UK, it's important to understand what's changing. This is part 2 of our HC 259 update series. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend watching it first because we covered the graduate route and family migration changes in detail. Now let's continue with the remaining updates. Asylum procedure changes. One of the operational changes introduced in HC 259 relates to the way some asylum claims may now be handled. According to the statement, the Home Office is introducing a merged registration process for suitable cases. Instead of separate stages for registration, screening, and establishing the protection claim, these steps may now be completed during a single interview. The aim is to process straightforward and clearly unfounded claims more efficiently, while allowing more complex cases to continue through the existing asylum process. Another important point. The rules also allow the Home Office to skip an additional personal interview in certain situations. For example, where the applicant is an EEA or Swiss national, or where the Home Office considers the claim to be clearly unfounded based on the application. However, this does not mean asylum interviews are being removed. Applicants can still explain their case, obtain legal advice, submit evidence, and if further information is needed, the Home Office can still arrange another interview. So, this update is really about streamlining the process in suitable cases rather than removing applicants' rights. Suitability and immigration bail. The next group of changes focuses on suitability requirements and immigration bail. According to the statement, these amendments are mainly intended to make the legal approach consistent across different immigration routes. One important change is that, where the exceptions for overstayers provisions apply, an application will not automatically be refused simply because the applicant is on immigration bail. Instead, the Home Office can consider the application based on its individual circumstances. It's important to understand that this does not create a new immigration route or relax the suitability rules. It simply ensures the same legal approach is applied consistently across multiple routes. The statement also updates the Electronic Travel Authorization, or ETA. From 3 August 2026, an ETA application may be refused or an existing ETA may be cancelled if a person has received a suspended sentence of at least 12 months. According to the statement, this change aligns the ETA criminality provisions with the wider suitability rules already used for entry clearance and permission applications. So, the purpose here is consistency across the immigration system. HC 259 also includes changes to the child student route. If a UK-based carer is subject to a criminality assessment, the rules now include suspended sentences of at least 12 months alongside the existing criminality grounds. The statement explains that this supports safeguarding and improves consistency across the wider criminality framework. Another amendment updates Part 13 of the Immigration Rules. This change brings the deportation framework into line with the Sentencing Act 2026, particularly in cases involving suspended sentences. So, that's a complete overview of the remaining changes introduced under HC 259. While many of these amendments are technical, they still play an important role in improving consistency across the UK's immigration rules. If any of these updates affect your immigration plans, it's always a good idea to read the official guidance carefully before submitting an application. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next official UK immigration update.